Overpromised, Covino and Rich. Do it.
Yeah. Little bonus pod action. Covino, Rich. Let's do this.
We've had some good ones. If you missed them, Joey Chestnut, he was on Overpromised. Gary Vaynerchuk, but it's good to be back. Covino and Rich, our bonus show. Now, Monday through Friday, we're on 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West, but so much greatness, so much fun. Can't fit it all in that show, so we give you this. And today we're going to talk about Nasty Nestor Cortes and my Yankees, because guess what? Baseball coming soon. I can't wait.
I know. Juan Soto, bro. He's going to make all the difference.
Well, I'm excited. Let's get excited. But we're going to start it off with, well, sad news. Woke up today like, man. At first, the story was Gene Hackman passed away. Nothing suspicious. Then all of a sudden, totally suspicious.
Ooh.
Rest in peace, Gene Hackman, 94? Actually, 95. His wife, Betsy, also passed away, 64. Their dog, they're saying carbon monoxide poisoning, found in his home in Santa Fe. But you start thinking about his legacy.
Yeah.
You know, what a superstar he was.
Suspicious or not? It seems like it, right?
Seems like it. But here's the other weird thing. For years, a lot of people thought he had died already. Then he resurfaced in public. Now it's true. He passed away. We don't know the details yet, but you think about the Royal Tenenbaums. You think about Lex Luthor, Superman. You got to think about Hoosiers.
No doubt. I think of Enemy of the State. I think of, he was in that movie where Jennifer Love Hewitt's boobs were on display.
Heartbreakers.
I don't think about him. I think about her boobs. But I do think about the ascot he wore as Lex Luthor, right? He wore a Mr. Furley outfit. If you actually look it up, you probably haven't seen it in a minute. He's dressed like he's got the limited edition Mr. Furley outfit on. But a legendary actor.
Just Furley on Halloween?
Maybe, I don't know. But legendary actor, and one of the most legendary films he made was Hoosiers when he played.
Look at that ascot.
Dude, that's a Mr. Furley outfit if I've ever seen one.
Jack!
Looked like he was going to the Regal Beagle that night. But his most legendary role, especially in the sports world, was that of Norman Dale, coach of the Hoosiers.
1986. Good year.
There's a tradition in tournament play. Not talk about the next step until you've climbed the one in front of you. I'm sure going to the state finals is beyond your wildest dreams, so let's just keep it right there. Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals. We've gone over time and time again.
It's been a while.
And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
Nice.
Shit, I want to play basketball right now.
I'm inspired. But again, great acting, great career, great long life, which is why the ending is sort of weird. Lived 95 years, and this is how it goes down. And Spot was telling us that details are coming out, and they're finding all these weird things to go along with the story. And it's like, either way, it got us thinking. He was one of the best fictional. Actually, based on that, we started thinking about the best fictional coaches.
Yeah, no doubt. People love Hoosiers. No, I'll be honest, not one of my favorites. In fact, I don't know if I've ever watched the whole movie through. That's a story for another day. Maybe I need to sit down and watch it over again.
You got to watch Superman. But in tribute to his role as Norman Dale, coach of the Hoosiers here, it got us thinking of the best fictional coaches in movie, TV history.
Well, when you say coaches, I'm also going to put trainers, advisors.
Okay.
Because I think you open it up to more fun that way.
They're still coaches.
Because frankly, I want to kick the list off
Okay.
with someone that I feel like you would have forgot if you stuck with just coaches, because he's a coach, Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. Balance. He taught balance.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
Discipline.
One of the most legendary scenes of all time. And he makes, spoiler alert, a cameo in the final season again. There's a fight scene, Cobra Kai, but eat Miyagi do karate. I'm a huge fan.
Taught me how to catch a fly with chopsticks.
No, I mean, great instructor / coach to Daniel's son. Miyagi do Karate. Mr. Miyagi, I'm not going to argue. If you want to argue, go right ahead, but I think he belongs on the list.
The only argument is, could you say that you think John Kreese is a better mentor, better teacher?
No, he was horrible. He's the worst. Great character. Okay. Cobra Kai never dies, but Miyagi was the guy, right? So that brings us to number 4. Rich, I give you the honors because you said you never saw Hoosiers.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Mighty Ducks.
Embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
It's just as embarrassing as you never seeing Gene Hackman in Superman or Hoosiers.
Get out of here. Gordon Bombay.
How's that any more embarrassing?
I think
I was grown up when this came out.
I think Mighty Ducks is a more popular movie than Hoosiers.
I'm not going to argue this. Especially, it's disrespectful on the day that Gene Hackman passed away.
But would you argue that Mighty Ducks is a bigger movie?
No, I wouldn't argue that.
You would say Hoosiers.
No, meaning I wouldn't waste my time arguing that. I don't think Mighty Ducks is more popular than Hoosiers.
Which Mighty Ducks did they take on Sweden?
That's D3, bro.
One's a kiddie movie.
Like
I'm not saying it's not good. One's a kid's movie. One's a real movie.
God, one inspired a team being named in the NHL?
I mean, that's great, but I put it like right above a corny movie like The Sandlot or Angels in the Outfield. Rookie of the Year. These are like corny kids movies.
How dare
I'm not
you.
saying it's not good, but I wouldn't compare it to like Hoosiers.
Gordon Bombay took a bunch of misfits that couldn't even play hockey, and then Spot's right. By the third one, they were competing for the world championship. A little unrealistic, but if you're going to talk about great coaches, a guy that was an alcoholic got pulled over, and instead of going to jail, you know what he said? Coach the misfits. And how do you not love Emilio?
I do love Emilio.
I mean, you love Emilio Estevez, yet you haven't seen the Mighty Ducks? Come on.
I've never seen it. I was when they come out in like 91.
I'd say early 90s, right?
I was in junior high chasing ace. You think I had time for that?
Oh, God, sorry.
I was in junior high.
Pussy
I
magnet
was
here.
hitting
Sorry,
home
I
runs.
don't
I was
have to
at
tell you.
baseball practice. I wasn't doing that.
By the way, Mighty
I'm
Ducks.
not downplaying that it was good.
92, Mighty Ducks. D2 is 94, and then the third one, 96. So
I graduated high school in 94. I wasn't watching Disney movies.
All right, old guy.
I'll watch them now with my kid. Not trying to date myself. I'm sure it's a great movie.
I think you did by
Not
saying you went to
better than
high school in the
Hoosiers.
90s.
I mean, you could say that, or you could say it's the truth, and I don't care. So, number 3 on the list. If you're going to put Miyagi on the list, you can't not have Ayo Mick. Mickey Goldmill was his name. Legendary trainer and coach, boxing coach, to the great Rocky Balboa. Absolutely.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Because Mickey loves you. Okay?
Yeah, I love you too.
Thanks, Mick. All right. I love you too.
Yeah, I'm going to cry, bro.
Hey, yo, like I got a lot of heart, but I ain't got no locker,
That's
right?
why,
Mick?
by the way,
Hey, yo, absolutely.
The only reason Mickey isn't number 1 is because he took away Rocky's locker.
Yeah, but yo, his place stinks.
Oh,
Yeah, his place stinks too, though. Place stinks.
You know, I will say.
He didn't make no more because his place stinks. But
One of the more emotional scenes when Mickey's dying and Rocky's crying over him and Stallone's
again, legendary
I'll
trainer,
give you
but
one
we're
more.
going to say coach.
Mickey, when Rocky's getting a little showboaty in Rocky 3, when Mickey's annoyed by the bubbles, he's batting him down in front of his face. Everything about Mickey was great.
Now, number 2 was a coach, and he coached Emilio Estevez's brother.
What are we waiting for? Sorry.
He coached the great Rick Vaughn, and we quote him often, give him the heater. We quote him every day on Fox Sports Radio when we say, tire rack. But in the movie, the great coach Lou Brown said, tire world.
Yeah, you guys stink. Remember, the owner was trying to tear apart the team, and he decided to forego selling white walls.
Movie coaches.
Become the coach.
He's definitely a great one when it comes to movie coaches in honor of, again, Gene Hackman in Hoosiers. And I think that's a great number 2.
You remember the exact quote? Hey, Lou, how do you feel about coaching the Cleveland Indians?
What does he say?
Remember that? How do you feel about managing the Cleveland Indians? I'm going to have to get back to you. I got a guy on the other line about a pair of white walls.
Yeah.
He's committed to his tires.
Tire world. So Lou Brown at number 2.
Tire world.
Yeah, there it is.
This is Charlie Donovan with the Cleveland Indians. How would you like to manage the Indians this year?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? This is a chance to manage in the big leagues.
Let me think it over, will you, Charlie? I got a guy on the other line about some white walls. I'll talk to you later.
I don't know.
I mean, everything about that movie, remember, or a heart attack. Like Lou Brown, a strong number 2.
And what's better than a strong number 2? Think about that.
Well,
Not a whole lot. But number 1,
there's no doubt.
I don't necessarily agree with as a number 1, but I'm not going to fight you on it either because I do think he should be on this list.
But I don't see how you can't say number 1 has to be Ted Lasso. Best show.
I think Rich just likes him because Rich wants to be him.
I mean,
Rich looks like him with a mustache.
the show was fantastic. He was inspirational.
You know, I never saw the finale. Like
how
the
do you-
final. I
again.
saw all up to the very end. I feel like you ruined it for me. You
I feel like
overhyped it.
yeah,
Greatest
overhyped
show
it.
ever.
It
All
was-
time.
I mean, the finale made me cry. In fact, every day I wake up, my alarm goes off in the morning to Father and Son by Cat Stevens because I was in the finale.
You cry to coffee commercials, bro. Like I'm not. You say that every day.
Well, what is the best part of waking up?
I like Ted Lasso. He was a swell fella. Here's the fun fact, though.
Yes, sir, Steve Kerr.
If you look back, this is not just a theory. The whole Ted Lasso story is the story of Wizard of Oz. I'm not making that up. It's a theory online, but there's so many parallels.
And there's little
It's
Easter
not-
eggs, too.
Yeah, there's little Easter eggs to prove it. So I'm not just making it up. Prove it. The story of Ted Lasso is the story of Dorothy. It's the story of Wizard of Oz. Check it out if you don't believe me.
Is Ted Lasso Dorothy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so look it up. I'm not making it up.
It really
Great
is. It's
character
cool.
for sure. Took the world by storm. Everybody loved the heart of Ted Lasso. So
Who dances better than Ted Lasso?
I'm not going to argue the whole thing.
The believe sign? Come on.
I'm not going to argue it, but I do throw my number 1 as honorable mention, okay? If we're going to talk great TV and movie coaches in honor of Gene Hackman and Hoosiers, my honorable mention would be Coach Hayden Fox.
Oh.
You know why? Because he was just coach.
Do, do,
Craig
do,
T.
do,
Nelson,
do,
bro.
do,
Craig
do,
T.
do,
Nelson, dude. When people say, yo, who are some of the greatest coaches? I always say Craig T. Nelson because he was coach.
All right, who is this assistant coach?
I don't remember.
Dauber.
I never really liked the show, but I think of Craig T. Nelson.
All right, so you suck.
you don't
You
even
just
like the
suck.
show and you
No,
said-
no
I
coach.
never liked the show.
All right, no Mighty Ducks, no coach, no Ted Lasso. What do you watch?
I
Documentaries about
hold on.
octopus?
I like Ted Lasso, but I wasn't,
You're
crying
on
to
the
it
one.
to you,
You're right.
talking to everybody
You
about
act
it
like
every day.
you act like
I
I'm
watched
the-
the whole thing. I watched Coach, but I also like just the 10 of us too. The fat bald guy, he was a good coach.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
coach.
you act
I like Mickey Cox.
You act like I'm the weird one. Ted Lasso is highly
I
acclaimed.
watched Coach. I didn't love Coach. How is that a big deal? I'm just saying he's my reference to when people talk about coaches. Craig T. Nelson comes to mind.
You know what-
Because
you know what school he
played
coached?
an actual coach.
What school did he coach?
I don't know, somewhere in Minnesota. What was it?
I think you're right. Was it
Yeah.
Minnesota? Spot. Double check it. Minnesota. Minnesota State.
Right on his shirt.
Okay, yeah. Good guess.
There you go.
Can I give an honorable mention if you're going to give one?
Yeah. I mean, I gave you Ted Lasso number 1, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't give it to me. It's fucking legit.
I bet you so many people are going to hit us up at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports and be like, Ted Lasso? No way.
Oh, I'm not way too cool for that.
I think Lou Brown would have been a good number 1.
This guy, honorable mention because I just think it's a funny role. Not a great coach, more just guy. I like the guy personally. That's a fun role. Henry Winkler, the Fonz, as Coach Klein in The Waterboy.
Mr. Coach Klein.
Mr. Coach Klein.
I will not argue this one. I thought it was great. I love Henry
I
Winkler.
love the bucket hat.
I love
Everything
this
about him.
movie. I love when Henry Winkler lost his confidence because they stole his notepad and everything.
His
I love the whole
playbook,
thing,
yeah.
his playbook. So props to Henry Winkler. Props to this movie. I like that answer. I think that should have made our top 5. But again, what do you guys think in honor of the late, great, rest in peace, Gene Hackman in Hoosiers, your best TV and movie
Hey, dude.
and fictional coaches?
95 years sucks when you go out in an interesting, suspicious way. But if you told me sign up for 95 years, I think most of us would be like, where do I sign? Like, come on, dude, 95 years?
Yeah, it's a weird story, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to go out together or something. Was there foul play? I don't know.
Time will only tell.
Yeah.
Well,
That leads us-
your boy's in this. Is he still your boy because he's not on the Yankees?
I'll root for Nestor Cortes for sure. I like him, and that's how sports works. If you rooted for somebody, I don't root for the Brewers now, but I still root for him to do well. He gave the Yankees his best. He had his moment. He had some T-shirts. He had fans wearing mustachios. Nestor Cortes is in the news this week, and people are laughing about it and laughing at him. In fact, I think he's taking the high road here to still be defending his teammates and his team, the 2024 Yankees, when he's on the Brewers. He's saying that we were the better team in regards to losing to the Dodgers. We were the better team. I see it that way, and I'm sure everyone in the clubhouse sees it that way. Now, it's garnering laughter. People are laughing
because
at him
it's
for
funny.
this. Now, hold on. We have to backtrack, too, as to why he's even saying these things. Because when the Dodgers won, they were like oddly outspoken about how bad the Yankees were, and they knew how crappy of a team they were. They knew their weaknesses and wanted to expose them. And it wasn't even the Dodgers stars. It was like the Dodgers ancillary teammates and players who like were chirping so loud about how weak the Yankees were. So when
the Dodgers take was it was harder to get past the Padres and the Mets.
Yeah,
and the Yankees were going to be a breeze.
And they knew all their weaknesses as far as base running and fielding, and we're going to expose them, and they were a terrible team. So he's like defending his team. And whether or not it's true, right? Why can't he see it that way? I guarantee he's right in the sense that everyone in the Yankees clubhouse does agree that they were the better team. As a fan, it's kind of hard to defend. But I will say this. They were in that series. I don't look at it like the Dodgers blew them away. I look at it very much like the Yankees blew it.
Yeah, but
the Yankees blew it. They could have been the better team. Right. They were in a lot of those games.
There's two ways
they blew it.
Two ways to look at every sports scenario like this. You could always say, well, this team blew it, or you could say this team capitalized, right?
Yeah, look, the Dodgers won. So they're the better team. Good for them. Congrats. But the Yankees were very close. Hadn't they blown it? Remember what they did?
I know.
Hold on.
Pull up the meme again because it explains it there. He explains it in the meme, and I'll go
again,
through it with you.
Game one, when he breaks it down in this quote here, if you guys remember, Nestor Cortes put everything on the line. He's like, I don't care if I'm injured for a year later. I'm going to pitch in the World Series for my team. He hadn't pitched in over a month, and they put him in relief.
Maybe he shouldn't have.
Freddie Freeman hits a grand slam, and that set the tone.
All right, so they could talk about whatever they want. This is Nasty Nestor. But if we win game one, you didn't. But if he got out Freeman, instead of Freeman hitting a bomb.
Again, not pitching in over a month.
All right, so, but again, regardless, they lost game one. But, all right, so that'll be 1-0. Which we should have had. We lost game 2 and 3. We win game 4. So now it's 2-2. They were up 5-0 in game 5. So he's saying, you know, if we knew how to close, we'd be up 3-2 after 5 instead of losing 4-1. But guess what? You could say that about any single team.
But they still, in their heart of hearts, think they're the better team. Just because they made a few errors doesn't mean the Dodgers were necessarily better.
You know who thinks that's cute? You know who thinks that's cute?
Everybody, because everyone's saying... No. You know, Nestor would have, could have, Cortes.
You know who thinks that? The Lions, the Bills, the Ravens, all these teams.
But why shouldn't they?
But
they're the ultimate competitors on a professional level. Are you surprised they think that way?
But I'm saying when you lose in a close game in the postseason, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, guess what? Unfortunately, you're not the best team.
But where's the funny in that? They lost, right? They lost. But you expect people who've taken their competitive nature to the ultimate heights to not think that way? Right. I think you guys are idiots to be surprised that Nestor and the Yankees think that way.
If you're going to make me bring up my team, I will. In 2015, the Mets lost to the Royals 4-1 in the World Series, 4-1, right? I could say the same thing. Game 1, the Mets closer, I believe Familia at the time, gave up a home run in the 9th inning to tie the game on a quick pitch. Mets should have won game 1. They were winning. Do you know the Mets were winning every game of that World Series in the 7th inning?
Yeah, but bro, I don't think you'd be wrong. Mets had a magical team.
And they just couldn't do it.
They had a magical team.
Couldn't do it.
In their heart of hearts, I bet you if you asked Lindor, he would say, I think we were the better team.
I'm talking 2015.
But even last year.
Daniel Murphy, Cespedes, David Wright.
I don't care about them. No, but last year's team was a magical team. And if you ask any of those dudes, they would probably say, yeah, I think we are the better team. Because that's how competitors think.
No, dude. I know, but I'm saying there are for every team. All right, I'm a Niners fan. You don't think that the Lions 2 years ago, who were winning 24/7, did the Niners come back or did the Lions blow it? You know, like you could have, there's two sides to that conversation every time.
I think Freddie Freeman was on fire. They should have never pitched to that dude. To laugh at what Cortes is saying is odd to me. You know, you could have your opinion. That's fine. Again, whether it's true or not, why can't they see it that way is my question.
All right, 04 Yankees, did they collapse or did the Red Sox just step it up?
The 04 Yankees absolutely collapsed.
Or did the Red Sox just step it up and win 4?
And that's the same exact question you could say here,
for
though.
anything.
So why
right?
does that garner laughter? Why is he the butt of the joke? Why is this such a viral story as if the Dodgers were so much better? I don't see that at all.
I will
as
say
a
this,
fan.
looking at Nasty
they won,
Nestor.
and I tip my my Yankee Fred Durst hat behind me. I tip my hat to that, but I just understand why it's such a joke. And I think it's the joke because he's the guy that led up the grand slam to Freddie Freeman that set the tone.
Well, you see him these days, no more mustache. Goatee or beard. Farewell, Yankees. Even though the Yankees now would allow it, we only picture him with a mustache.
Yeah, I know.
I'm seeing him now.
Oh, yeah, he had the full beard with the Orioles, too.
He has the goatee. So, Nasty Nestor, good luck, buddy boy. Now, I wanted to end Overpromised on a quick note because we saw the other day, there he is, look at him. Luka in Los Angeles did a really kind thing. And
the LA Lucas, bro.
So the LA Lucas, when they played the Mavericks, what did he do? He decided to treat a bunch of Lakers fans to free parking outside of crypto.
That's how you win over fans.
And
that and win.
It is just a reminder that if you're the new guy at work, the new guy in the office, the new guy on the work site, whatever you do, take a page out of the book of Dexter. What did Dexter do? He was a murderer. But what did he do? He would show up to Miami PD with donuts. And everyone would be like, oh, Dexter, he's got the donuts. So show up with donuts, bring new food to your new coworkers.
Dexter's such a weird example.
I'm so confused. Am I supposed to murder people?
Yeah, take a page out of Dexter where he killed people and tried to cover it up with donuts. How about you just be a nice guy? How about a page out of Covino and Rich? When we were the new guys at Fox Sports Radio, we always brought donuts and we still bring pizza and everything else. If you want people to like you,
Dexter,
you got to bribe them a little bit. Win them over. You don't need to kill people
Dexter,
and then try to hide it with donuts.
I'm not saying you have to kill people, but what I'm saying is Dexter's a great example of how do you win over new people? We saw it on Dexter Original Sin, the new series. He realized, how do I get people to never suspect me, and how do I get everyone to like me? Bring in donuts. How do you get everyone to love you in LA? Pay for their parking.
Guys, I know it sounds lame,
Just don't
but
murder
it
people.
works. Here's the thing. Here's the catch, though. Be genuine about it. You know, like want to win people over because you want them to like you and you want to like them back. You want to build a relationship. You want to show them you're a good dude. Again, be genuine about it. You know, Rich and I, we're not hiding the fact that we're trying to bribe new listeners all the time. We give away Swiggies on our show if you follow our podcast, Covino and Rich, and leave a nice review. You know, in turn, we're trying to create a friendship here. We want you to tune in. We want to get to know you. We bring in donuts because we want a good relationship with our colleagues. You know, mean it. I'm sure Luka wants to win with the Lakers, and he wants to have a great relationship with the fans. I think it's a great move.
Perfect. Well, Covino will buy you donuts. Just a reminder, as we say farewell, June 20th to the 22nd. Keep those dates in mind. We're going to be doing a big Covino and Rich Fox Sports Radio party in Vegas. Details coming soon, but
everybody's invited.
Block those dates out. June 20th to the 22nd, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday this summer. Vegas, big Covino and Rich party. And we'll see you guys next week on another Overpromised.
It's a celebration.
Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Goodbye.